Hey, what's up, my friend? So in today's episode, I want to discuss should you quit your job to trade full time? Because this is something that I believe is on your head, right? And you're thinking about this, man, Rayner, should I quit my job to trade full time? So in this episode, I want to share with you a few important things to consider that many traders just missed out right before you go down this path. Number one, you must have results to show for. So if you want to trade full time, right? So right now, if you're part time trading, you must have positive results to show for. If you're a losing trader and if you want to trade full time, you won't suddenly miraculously become a profitable trader. It doesn't work that way. So this means that if you want to trade full time, right now you should at least be a profitable trader, right? Your trading account is in the green, you are seeing some consistency and you want to do it full time. But if you're not, then trading full time will just make things worse. And here's why. Let me give you an example. Let's say you go down to a casino, right? Maybe once a week, once a month, and you're losing money at a casino. And then you tell yourself, maybe if I visit the casino regularly, I can be a consistently profitable gambler. Does it make sense? No, of course not. And it's the same as trading, right? If you are trading part-time, not making money, trust me, when you do it full-time, it's going to get worse, right? That's where your emotions come into play. That's where you lose your income. All the negative thoughts come into play and make things worse. And I'll talk more about that later. So that's the first thing. Before you want to trade full-time, you must have the results to show for it. Number two, you must have a reasonable trading account size to do it full-time. Because let's face it, right? Let's say, assume you can make 20% a year. On a $1,000 trading account, that's about $200 a year. On a $1 million trading account, that's about $200,000 a year. So you can see that, it's nothing to do with your strategy, but the size of your account, it matters a lot. I don't think you can survive with $200 a year. But at the same time, $200,000 a year, I think that's pretty much doable. Or maybe even $100,000 or $50,000. That's doable for you. So here's the deal, right? If you want to trade full-time, right, you must have the right account size for it. It's going to be pretty darn difficult to trade full-time on a small account size because you probably would be taking a lot of unnecessary risk that leads to account blow up. So manage your expectations, right? Don't expect to trade full-time with a $500 or $1,000 trading account. Number three, be prepared to be incomeless for weeks or even months. And why do I say that? It's very simple. Every trading strategy out there, right, seeks to, exploit certain patterns in the market. And when the market changes, that strategy will go into a drawdown. It stops working until that market condition change back to be favorable for the strategy again. So what this means is that, if you have a trend trading strategy and if the market is trending, you'll probably make money for weeks, for months until the trend stops trending. And then it goes to a range, you reverse, that's where you start to lose money. And you never know ahead of time when market conditions will change. So this is why you experience, losing streaks. This is why you experience a drawdown. So what this translates into is that if you are going to trade full-time, right, you will expect to, go, weeks, maybe even months, right, where, you just don't make money from the markets because, market conditions unfavorable to you. Right, so be prepared for that, and to kind of overcome that, it's not too difficult. What you want to do is to set aside, for example, 12 months of living expenses. So when market conditions are not favorable to you, you don't have to dig into your trading account and withdraw money and cover your daily expenses because you've already set aside a pool of money to cover your expenses, and that's important. That gives you like a psychological buffer that, hey, even if this month I don't make money, I can still put food on the table, I can still survive, and that's important. Okay, so that's number three, right? Be prepared to be incomeless for weeks or even months. Number four, this would apply for those of you who have family to feed. If you're single, then I think it's not as hard on you because you're just liable for your own self. You don't have to feed your kids and whatsoever. So if you have family to feed, right, my suggestion is that to have a spouse, right, to at least have a full-time regular job. So this way, even if your income is not consistent, you have someone, right, with a consistent income, and together, right, you all can still, put food on the table to feed the kids and stuff like that, pay your bills. Yep. So it's important, right, to, if you're married, right, have a spouse to work a regular job and then provide a consistent income because your income is already not consistent. And another thing to add is that just because your income is not consistent doesn't mean that you can't contribute to the household. What you can do instead, instead of putting, let's say, contributing to the household every single month, what you can do is do it once every 6 months, because by the end of the 6 months tenure, chances are your trading strategy will, or rather, chances are the law of large number will work in your favor, and your strategy is likely to make money, every 6 months. Okay, so by then you have some money to contribute back to your household. So look to contribute, every 3 months, 6 months, whatever you decide, right? Instead of doing it, weekly or monthly. And the fifth thing that I want to talk about is time frame, right? So yes, I know you want to trade full time, but you must ask yourself: is this realistic? Because let's say if you are looking to trade off the daily time frame, you don't have to do it full time, because on the daily chart, the chart is only printed once every single day, once every 24 hours. So what's the point of trading full time on a daily time frame? You don't need to do it full time. So this would only make sense if you are a short-term trader trading off the 5 minutes time frame, the 15 minutes time frame, and if you say you want to trade full time, fair enough, right? Because you require a lot of screen time to watch the markets. That is perfectly sound. But if you're trading off the 8-hour time frame, the daily time frame, the weekly time frame, and you tell me you want to trade full time, I say that you're bonkers, right? Doesn't quite make sense. So think about that, right? The time frame. And finally, the last thing that I want to talk about, number 6, is this: know what you really want. So many traders say that, yeah, I want to trade full time, man, Rayner. But when it comes to trading full time, it comes to, trading, the market, watching the market 10, 12, 14 hours a day, they realize, man, I'm like a slave to the markets, sitting in my chair all day. And they realize that's not what they really want. What they really want is actually the freedom. The freedom to do anything that they want and still have, some income coming in to sustain their lifestyle. That's what they want, the freedom. So think deep, right? What do you really want? Do you really want to be a full-time trader, watching the markets 10, 12, 14 hours a day? If so, fair enough, go for it, right? What I just shared with you would apply. But if that's not what you want, right? You want something that, brings in some money at the same time, right? Allow you the freedom to do things that you want. Then you want to really consider your options, right? And to take a step back and to see how you can actually achieve that goal, because trading full-time clearly, right, isn't the solution to what you're looking for. So think deeper, right? Don't just blindly, go after a goal that you don't really understand what it entails, and until you put your feet in, then you realize, oh crap, that's not really what I want. Okay, so all this can be planned ahead of time, right? So take a step back, look at the big picture, and ask yourself, right, is this what I really want? Right, so define your goal first, then after which you can find the approach, the medium, right, to achieve that goal. Okay, so a quick recap. Number 1, if you want to trade full time, you must have results to show for. Number 2, you must have a reasonable account size. Number 3, be prepared to be incomeless for months. Number 4, ideally you have a partner, a spouse who works full time, so you have a regular source of income that is contributing to the household. Number 5, right, know the time frame that you're trading. And finally, number 6, know what you want. Okay, so with that said, I have come to the end of this episode. I'll talk to you soon.